Hey PJs, welcome back to another video. This is part 2 of the Lime Slimes Company review. If you want to check out part 1 and like all the unboxing and whatnot, that is on my channel. I gotta talk fast because I deleted like the unboxing part that I was supposed to put in part 2 because I put it in both parts or however many parts that I make when I have a multiple part review, but I completely deleted it, so we gotta jump right into the slime. But this is Abandoned Greenhouse. It is a perlite slime that is scented fresh, juicy orange and Macintosh apple. It comes with a 1 ounce green clear slime, a cherub charm, and 2 leaves, and then assorted add-ins. To me, this slime smells like green apple mixed with like a regular apple shampoo-ish, if that makes sense. Like green apple smells different than like a red apple, and it smells like a red apple shampoo, maybe like a soap type of smell. It smells good. It's not something I would choose for this slime, but like a lot of his slimes are scented like more earthy and stuff, so like I can't always ask for something to be scented like dirt or something, but that's what I would have picked because, you know, it's like a greenhouse, so maybe scent it like grass or something. But that's just completely my opinion. Maybe I'm just not the biggest fan of apple scents, I don't know, but it smells really good and refreshing. The slime was fun to assemble. It has really good add-ins, and I love the concept because it's kind of creepy and like earthy and stuff, and that's my favorite type of theme. Once you fully mix it together, it mixes into a light green color, which is beautiful. The slime itself isn't like super packed with those perlite beads, so it is easier on the hands. Just another option for somebody that wants to try a crunchy slime but you have sensitive hands. And the base feels thicker, so it's got a lot more thick bubble pops to it. It's really great for ASMR because like those perlite beads just kind of add like the extra step of ASMR and gives more crunches and like maybe some sizzles and stuff. And if you want to, you can even break the little perlite pieces. It's kind of hard. Some of them are easier to crush than others, and it can be really satisfying. I don't really know exactly what to compare it to. It's like crushing like a really soft rock maybe, which I guess technically that's what it is, but I mean, it's satisfying, and then it creates like really small pieces in the slime. The slime does, of course, inflate as well, and it gets bubbly and airy as it does so. The only comment that I would make about this one is it does leave a decent amount of residue, which I was kind of on the fence of how to rate it because of that, because I haven't tried a lot of perlite slime, so I'm not sure exactly how much it changes the base. Like, for example, when I do a Bingzu slime review, I'm a lot more lenient on how much residue it leaves on me because I know that that's usually normal, but I wasn't exactly sure how much is normal for a perlite slime. So I'm going to give this one either 4.9 or 5 out of 5 pajamas. It's kind of up to you guys what you think. This next slime is Gingerbread Spice. This is a sand sizz slime that is scented gingerbread and brown sugar. To me, this slime smells exactly as described with like a bit more cinnamon, which is pretty typical of cinnamon scented slimes or cinnamon scented anything. Cinnamon just kind of takes over and it's just a really strong scent, but it's not too overpowering in this one, which I definitely appreciate. I personally think this is the most accurate slime I have ever gotten, ever, like in the entirety of when, like all the time I've reviewed slime. It looks exactly like Gingerbread Spice, and like I think this is what it would feel like if you could turn it into a slime. Like this is such an accurate description. It is so fun to play with. So obviously it's a sand sizz, so it's a mixture between a sand slime and a snow fizz slime, and it's very dense and like very spice like. There's really not much else I can like compare it to, because it really does feel like if you like put a bunch of spices together and then turned it into a slime. That's what it feels like. I even noticed that it has these tiny brown specks in the slime that are like darker brown than the rest of the slime, which also happens like at least when I cook with like Gingerbread Spice or like cinnamon and stuff. There's usually smaller brown specks that are like a darker brown than the rest, so like that just adds to like how accurate this looks. And I was just so shocked when I was playing with this one because it is just so on point. Like I honestly don't think you can get any closer to perfection. The sand used in the slime is super fine, so it feels like grainy on your hands, and like kind of smaller than like the other sand slimes that I've tried so far. They seem to be smaller, which I kind of like. It has constant sizzles. Like I said, it is more of a dense slime, but it's still like very stretchy. It's not like an issue with that or anything. And of course the slime does inflate, and like even though it does start out as dense, as you inflate it, it gets really light and puffy, which I like because it's like a completely different texture, and it's got like a ton of sizzles, bubble pops, all that fun stuff. Obviously you can't get this slime now because it's been quite some time since this was in the shop, and it's like a holiday themed slime, but I would assume they make ones just like this one. I would just say, as a little precautionary measure, it does leave a lot of sand residue, like a little bit on the table, mostly under my fingernails, but I think that's completely normal for a sand slime. It just kind of falls out, and with one that's like packed this much, that's just something that's gonna happen, and you kind of just have to choose if you want the texture, and then like can you deal with the sand part. It's kind of like residue with Bing Zoo slimes, like I was talking about with the last slime. It's kind of a trade-off, but I am going to give this one 5 out of 5 pajamas. And the last slime for this Lime Slimes review, both part 1 and 2, this is Receipt. It is a crumpled paper textured slime. Basically, they described it as a jelly cream with clay and a hint of snow fizz, and it is scented wet printed paper. So what's fun about this slime is it was actually recommended to me by one of you guys, I think, that know that I like weird textured slimes, weird scented slimes, weird themed slimes, and you tagged me on his Instagram post of this slime, and I thought about getting it anyways, but I thought that was so cute that somebody thought about me, like when they saw a slime. Like if you guys like think of me when you see a slime or whatever, feel free to tag me, whether it's on Instagram, TikTok, whatever. Don't be afraid. I'm not gonna bite. I love it when people do that, and I love interacting with you guys, and like that just made me so happy that they recommended a slime to me, and like that just furthered my initiative to get this slime. Anyways, this slime smells slightly like cleaner. I couldn't tell you exactly what kind. Usually I can say it's like toilet bowl cleaner or something, but this one just kind of smells like a generic cleaner, and then it has a faint paper smell to it, so of course I like it. Like, the scent of wet paper is good, okay? It smells good and like kind of relaxing in a weird way. The slime feels plush, and it has that plastic snow for some added texture, and I'm actually starting to like slimes that have like a little bit of plastic snow in them, especially ones like this where it's like a really soft inflatable type of base, and then it has like a little bit of snow fizz in it, because it kind of like rubs on my hands every once in a while. It kind of leaves me all tingly and stuff. And it's just a very satisfying feeling for my hands, I guess. Obviously, the slime inflates, and when it does, it has a ton of amazing sizzles and crackles. It has minimal residue, which is always amazing in my book, and it definitely reminds me of the theme, like a receipt, like a crumbled up receipt, like a receipt in a bunch of water. I don't know, it just reminds me of a receipt, which I love that. The only thing that I want to talk about, and it's literally just a suggestion, I would love to see some real paper in the slime, like even just a little bit here and there, just to kind of give it a little bit more depth to what it's supposed to resemble. Now, it's hard to add paper to slime because paper can kind of absorb the slime's like wetness and make the slime feel really gummy, kind of hard to stretch and stuff. It is a really fun texture to play with, and I've done it before. I've had slimes that have paper in it, and it's a really fun texture. You just kind of have to balance it nicely to where it doesn't like change the texture a lot, because like an inflatable slime like this one wouldn't work really well with real paper. You just kind of have to add a little bit, but I'd love to see that. The slime is still perfect though. It doesn't need that real paper. It's just like a random suggestion. So of course this one is getting 5 out of 5 pajamas. And with that, that is the end of this review, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it this far, comment down below the weirdest thing you've seen put into slime, or if you make slime yourself, what's the weirdest thing you've added? I remember one time I added those moisture absorbing beads that like you can find in wallets and clothes sometimes. It was weird. Now I am signing off, and I'll see you guys in the next one.